Hello, everyone. I wanted to offer a defense for writers who are wordy or who use a lot of big words, which is something that some readers don't like, which is fine if you don't like it, but to act like that such writing is objectively bad, that's certainly not the case. Because if you're going to say that such writing is bad or is unnecessary or is inadequate, well, then you're definitely going to have a problem with writers like Shakespeare, like Charles Dickens, like Henry James, like Herman Melville, who wrote Moby Dick. And there are some passages in Moby Dick that even I, have a hard time understanding. But that's not Herman Melville's fault. It's just that he's trying to provide us a particular kind of experience. I think that one of the problems is that many readers believe that if they come across a lot of big words or a lot of poetic kind of writing, that if they don't understand it, then that means that something's either wrong with them or something's wrong with the writer, which neither has to be true because instead of saying, oh, I'm intimidated by this or the writer should be clearer, uh, you should look upon it, first of all, as a learning experience that you can learn new words or new phrases, and then you will be better equipped to read similar passages the next time. That's how I look at it. And also, the purpose of a passage in literature isn't always to convey a literal meaning. And writing it can convey multiple meanings. There's literal meaning, there's metaphorical meaning, and then there's subjective meaning, which is the meaning that you take away from it, or the images that the passage evokes in your mind, which may or may not be what the author intended. And so it's more about having an experience than gaining a literal meaning. And so I think some readers have been trained because of modern literature to only think about things in literal ways, which I think is a mistake. And also I think that this idea that writers should only be minimalistic or only use language that serves the story, this utilitarian view, was really carved in the middle of the 20th century by people like Ernest Hemingway, who I like, but they ultimately, I think, tried to take that technique and tried to apply it across the board, whereas not all writers will write like Hemingway. And of course, writers during the 19th century and early 20th century certainly didn't write that way. And so there are many different ways of writing. Yes, you can write in a minimalistic style, but you can also write in a more poetic or verbose style. It really just depends on what the author's intentions are. So I think that people need to respect writers who use big words or who are wordy.